Yo, 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 Will Reagan from Reagan Reefs and Reptiles. This is an unboxing video and product review. And this is kind of a cheap product. I wouldn't say it's a great product, but it's a pretty great value. This is the Thrive Tropical Essentials Kit. So it's basically kind of like an arboreal enclosure. It's a glass tank, front opening terrarium with a screen top. So I'm not in love with these for most applications because, you know, glass enclosures don't really hold heat that well, or humidity, especially with a screen top. But there's some things we can do to make them better. A lot of times I'll paint three sides, make the animal feel a little bit more secure, maybe line three of the inside walls with PVC sheets. That makes it much more of a thermal situation. And you can cover a portion of the screen top to make it hold moisture or humidity better as well. But anyway, Thrive is PetSmart's, not Petco, but PetSmart's like house brand. So it's kind of like generic, but I would say it's probably on par for quality with like the Exoterra front open stuff, I would think. I much prefer a custom PVC enclosure, you know, like this one that we use for the Burmese brown mountain tortoise, or this taller one that we use for the northern blue-tongued skink, who happens to be enjoying a boiled egg right now. And I generally don't use glass enclosures for much, except aquatics. So when we get something like, you know, this Cuvier's dwarf caiman, a glass tank is great for him, even though something like an outdoor pond would be better. But what he's in is a 4 foot by 4 foot, 200-gallon cube, about half full of water. And he's due an upgrade here pretty soon. That's him. I wouldn't say he's cramped for space right now, but I don't like for him to get even close to being cramped. So what's in the future for this guy, and in the very near future, is an 8 foot by 6 foot enclosure. I have a 8 foot by 3 foot fiberglass runway trough that'll act as the water portion, and it'll be set into an enclosure with a 8 foot by 3 foot land area in the back. It'll be glass doors up top, and it should be pretty cool. It should be pretty awesome. And once we do that, we're gonna move the Indian spotted turtles into this, because right now they're in like a 50-gallon pond, which is fine, but this will give them a little bit more space and they'll be much more viewable, and they're awesome. So I'd like to be able to enjoy, you know, viewing them a little bit better. But anyway, this glass tank is going to be used for our BIAC neonate green tree python, who's in a little tub right now. And honestly, the tub he's in is probably perfectly really kind of ideal for him, other than its top entry. And he really, I can tell he gets stressed when I'm going at him from above. Now, I don't handle him, but I mean, even feeding him, you know, when I'm going in with a mouse from above, even though I try to go as much from the side as I can, I'm still kind of coming from above, and it stresses him out. And if he gets too focused on me and not the prey, then he's kind of wildly striking at me instead of his food. And he still always eats, but sometimes it'll take him a couple times. He might grab coil, be too fixated on me, and drop his prey. I have to do it again. So anyway, front opening I think would be a lot better for him. But I can't really put him in his forever enclosure right now because he's too small. Eventually, I'd like for him to be in like a 36 by 24 by 36, which would give him a lot of room. Maybe even a 48 by 24 by 48. That would be sick for him. But I can't put a little bitty neonate in there now. I mean, he's got some decent size on him compared to what he was when we got him, but he's still too little. He would get lost in an enclosure like that, and he would probably be stressed. So anyway, that's what this is going to be. I didn't want to buy a $400 PVC enclosure just as a temporary home for him. That's going to have to be upgraded again anyway. So this is for you guys who don't want to spend $400 or $500 on an enclosure. If you have anything arboreal, they recommend this for geckos, and I would say like a crested gecko would be perfect. Chameleons, not so much. I'd rather do more of a mesh enclosure for that. Anoles, yeah, it'd be great. Tropical snakes, if they're small enough, I would say sure. Amphibians, yeah. Long-tailed lizards, I don't know who really keeps long-tailed lizards anyway. But otherwise, other than the chameleon, I would say they're, represent it fairly accurately. 30-gallon volume, 18 by 18 by 24, so it's more of a vertical for something somewhat arboreal. This kit comes with the terrarium with screen lid, comes with a 60-watt daytime heat bulb, a 13-watt tropical UVB bulb, two 5.5-inch deep dome lamps, thermometer hygrometer combo, a brick of compressed cocoa fiber, a tropical cling background twisted leafy vine, and a suction cup food and water dish. So this thing is supposed to come with really $100 worth of stuff in it. It regularly sells for $179, which is probably not that bad. However, it was on a limited time sale at PetSmart. Buy online, do curbside pickup for $99.99. So $99.99, and you get $100 worth of stuff with it. And most of the stuff is somewhat useful. These are kind of the throwaways to me. This thermometer hygrometer combo, I wouldn't want to use that. I throw that away. I don't trust that at all. It's definitely not accurate. So that's not really any good. The background, it's fine if you're into that. I'm just not into artificial background scenes. I'd rather do a black background and then just put some vines in there. That's just me. This isn't that bad. This is like the suction cup food and water combo bowl. It is made out of styrofoam, so it's cheap. But if you were doing something like a crested gecko, it'd probably be great for that. But it's no good for us. I mean, he needs a bigger water dish. And I'm not going to stick a rat in here for him to catch it out of, obviously, or a mouse. I mean, I'm going to feed that to him off tongs. So this is useless for us, but not necessarily for everyone. Now, if I can get Phoebe out of our way. Phoebe, can you please move? Please. Please. Please, Phoebe. You can tell Phoebe's very impressed by me. Phoebe pretty much does what she wants to do. She doesn't care what anybody else wants her to do. Right, Phoebe? Okay, but I'm needing you to move, okay? Please? So I can take this lid off, please? Jump. Go, Phoebe. Go, Phoebe. There she goes. Okay. Let's take this top off. So we'll see, it's got a little latch here that you undo, and it's got a nice little handle to grab the glass by. Some of the nicer expensive enclosures I have don't even have a handle to really open the doors with, so they're not that convenient. All in all, the quality doesn't look bad. There's your screen lid, which again, I don't love, but I can cover whatever portion of it I want. These dome lamps look fine. This vine is pretty nice, actually, because it's got a nice woody stem to it, and then the leafy part of it is great. It's got a tropical UVB bulb, which I would assume is like a 5%, and daytime blue heat bulb. I'm not in love with blue bulbs, but it's fine for a heat lamp. And the coconut fiber, which looks a little too fine for me. It's more like dirt, but that's okay. The silicone work isn't terrible. It's really not that bad. I mean, you got some stray, stuff on the bottom, but that's okay. All in all, not too bad. It's kind of thin glass that it's made out of, but it's not going to be holding water, so it should be plenty sturdy. You got a little bit of extra ventilation here, which I like that because, like I said, I can cover a lot of the screen top up to hold humidity better. And there's probably a couple other things we'll do. Like I'm gonna paint 3 sides of this black to make him feel more secure. So only the front's gonna be, you know, open as far as clear to see in. That'll make him more secure. Obviously I'm gonna add a bunch of perches in there. Probably gonna get some custom made ones from Specialty Enclosure Designs. They make really cool perches for green tree pythons. So we can get some of those. And what I'm gonna do is line 3 sides of this with black PVC sheets. So I'm gonna paint it 3 sides black, but then I'm also gonna line 3 sides of it with PVC. That's gonna make it much more thermal. You know, it'll hold heat and humidity much better. And also it'll allow me to use bolt-on perch holders. You obviously can't bolt through glass unless you wanna drill holes in glass, which is a pain in the butt. I mean, I do it often for reef tanks, for overflows and stuff, but I don't wanna do it for this. So it'll be twofold, 2 purposes with the PVC sheets. I'll be able to make it, like I said, hold heat and humidity better, and also I'll be able to use the bolt-on perch ends, which will be much less expensive. Because those friggin' magnets, if you use magnetic ones, the magnets off Amazon are gonna run you 120 to 150 bucks for the magnets to hold 4 perches. That's a lot of money. And 4 perches is not that many for this tank. I mean, I really might even be better with a few more than that. But anyway, those are things that I'll do to make it a little bit better for what we're using it for. But as far as a review, all in all, for a cheap enclosure, not too bad. Like I said, you could see some messiness in some of the silicone work, like there. But to be honest, I haven't ever seen many non-custom tanks that didn't have that kind of stuff. You know, like that little messy silicone work. You're gonna see that on all of these types of tanks. I mean, unless you spend big bucks, like buying one of the custom tanks, like, oh man, Reef. What's the one that's really super friggin' expensive? I can't remember the name right now, but if anybody can remember, throw it in the comments. There's a really super expensive custom tank maker. Awesome tanks, stupidly expensive, but they're really nice. And you know, the craftsmanship of those is great. It's awesome. You should not see that kind of stuff with those. But you're talking about, some of those tanks are $10,000. I got a quote on one a couple of years ago when we were just building this place. I got a quote from them to do a custom 48. It was 96 by 48 by like 18 inches deep. And it was going to be 10,000 bucks. And the other prices I got from other custom tank guys were $2,500 to $3,500. So it's really expensive, but it's nice stuff. I just can't remember the name of the company right now. That's how stupid I am. I'll try to put it in the comments, but it's Reef something. Well-known, expensive tanks. Takes about 6 months or a year to get one built because you're on a waiting list. I feel really stupid as many times as I've priced these tanks for people and for myself. But they're awesome, really expensive. They have a little metal plaque in one corner that has the brand on it. It's awesome. I mean, it's an awesome tank. I just can't remember the friggin' brand name of it. That's how crazy this is. But that's how it always is. When you want to remember something, you can't. So, long story short, inexpensive, nice, or fairly nice for a glass enclosure. Not too bad. The value is great, especially if you can get it on sale like I did for 99 bucks. You can't really beat that because the extra stuff that comes with it is almost worth the 99 bucks in itself. So you're basically getting the enclosure for free. And when we upgrade him to his forever PVC enclosure, at that point, this thing won't owe us anything. You can almost throw it away. But what I'll end up doing is just giving it to a buddy or maybe one of my buddy's daughters for a lizard or something like that. That's what I typically do. Like I got a 40 breeder critter cage sitting out in the yard right now. I'm going to give that to a buddy because it's not worth selling. I mean, they're only $100 new, so what are you going to sell a used one for? I mean, money-wise, not much. Certainly not worth shipping it. Throw it on Facebook, you know, $50. You know, maybe somebody hit you up, maybe they won't. So anyway, I'll end up eventually giving it away to a buddy or whatever. But that little green tree, he can probably chill in this for, I'd say 2 or 3 years probably, before he's really needing more space than this. So for 99 bucks to last 2 or 3 years, man, that's 30 bucks a year. Not too shabby. And again, the quality is not awful. It's really not. It's really not that bad. So for what you're spending and what you're getting, not bad at all. So if you have unlimited funds and you want the best enclosure you can get, that's not what this is. But if you're like most of us, where funds are limited and money is important, you know, especially we just went through Christmas. I got 4 kids, so anybody with kids knows how expensive Christmas is. It's crazy. So if you're a guy like me who doesn't have just unlimited cash, but you'd still want to get a fairly nice enclosure. I mean, it looks really nice. And if you make those few changes, you know, like lining the walls with PVC sheets, that kind of thing, blocking off some of the screen top, depending on you know, your needs, you can make it much better than what just a raw glass enclosure is. You can really improve the qualities of it, you know, what it does for you. Now, another route you can go, and I really didn't research this route until today after I'd already bought this on sale, is Specialty Enclosure Designs also makes conversion kits for tubs where they put a glass window in the front of a tub. And then it makes it where you have a nice viewing panel and you can enter the tub from the front. And they're not that much money, but here's the issue with it. They don't come with the glass. So you buy it, it's just a frame, you cut the hole, you screw the frame in, then you have to provide the glass yourself. And of course they say it's easy, just grab glass. It's not that friggin' easy to go grab glass. I mean, maybe if you live in New York City or LA, there's probably glass shops all over the place. Here in Blackstone, Virginia, where I live, there aren't any glass shops. There was a glass shop, Blackstone Glass, up until a couple years ago. But that dude kind of went nuts, and now we don't have a glass shop. So I'd have to go a few towns over to get a piece of glass. Probably be pretty expensive to have it cut. I mean, glass isn't that cheap. So this is definitely the most economical display you're going to get. And if you have a crested gecko or a gargoyle gecko, something like that, this would be perfect for that. And I think for our purpose of the little green tree, I think it's going to work pretty well for that too. We'll put like heat tape on the back. We'll heat it from the back. Probably won't use the heat lamp. I might use the UVB and just give them a day-night cycle with the UVB light. And I'm pretty sure that he would get some benefit from UVB because they are arboreal. I mean, so, you know, they live in the canopy, so they're going to be shaded, but I'm sure they do get some natural UVB in the wild. And I don't think it'll hurt at all, especially not a little 5% going through a screen top. It's not going to be that intense. And I think he will definitely benefit from the day-night cycle. So we'll throw that on a timer. Or we might even use, and now this is not UVB, but we might even use that programmable Exoterra sound effects light that I did the little video on a couple weeks ago. We could throw that on here because that's programmable where it does day cycles, night cycles, thunderstorms, weather pattern, whatever you want it to do, it'll do, and it has sound effects. So it's kind of cool. Check out my video on that. That was another cheap product that doesn't do a lot useful for your animals, but it does give a cool look to your display, and it does give them a day-night cycle. So it's not a worthless product, and it's inexpensive. So anyway, that's that. All in all, man, I'd give it 1.5 thumbs up. And, you know, really the only reason I'm not giving it 2 thumbs up is because no glass enclosure for reptiles really is going to get 2 thumbs up from me. But if we throw that out, as far as glass enclosures go, because of the value, you know, value-wise, 5 stars for this thing, man. Quality-wise, 3 stars. Hey, you know, not bad. Not bad at all. I'm going to build a stand for it, so I'll probably post a video of that. They actually make a stand for it, but it's like $200, and it doesn't even look that nice. I saw one on Amazon yesterday that said it was new in a torn up box, and they only wanted like $67 for it. I didn't buy it in time. They only had one. Somebody else beat me to it. So I wish I would have just grabbed that, because then I wouldn't have to spend a lot of time and energy building a stand. However, I bought all the lumber and everything I need to build this little stand from Lowe's today. Cost me $80. And I feel like it'll probably look better than their stand, to be honest. At least I can make it match, you know, all my current enclosures. They basically match. As far as, you know, the design of them. Now that's actually not something I made homemade. That's a commercial stand. But this one I also made. Not that awesome, but it's okay. So real quick. Oh, he's gone back to hiding. He was eating some eggs a minute ago. He might come out and see us. Come on, bud. This guy's gotten pretty social. And I don't consider that any kind of accomplishment, because it's a blue-tongued skink. And they're pretty easy to handle and pretty social anyway. But he's really gotten pretty awesome. So I can kind of call him a little bit. Hey, buddy. Come here. See if he comes. Come here, bud. Come here. There you go. Come here, bud. Come here. Come here. Hey, what are you doing, buddy? What are you doing, buddy? Now, this guy does not have a name, even though we've had him since he was a tiny, tiny, tiny baby, you know. He could sit easily in the palm of your hand when we got him, and now he's probably, oh man, 27, 28 inches long, I would say. So he's our buddy. Definitely not for sale. He's a pet. But he doesn't have a name. So if anybody wants to suggest a name for him, Northern Blue-tongued Skink. So something that would be appropriate, or just something with a cool ring to it. I don't know what. Here we go. They'll probably come out and see us now. Hey, buddy. Come on. Come on, B. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, dude. Here he comes. Come on out. Yeah. Come on out and see us. Come on out and see us. He's totally chill. Never tries to bite. Doesn't really have claws to scratch. Doesn't tail whip. The only thing got to do is make sure he doesn't fall. That's the only thing that this guy needs, is for us to make sure he's safe and that he doesn't fall. No, kitty. So basically, come on. All you got to do is redirect him back into his home when it's time to go. But otherwise, he's great, man. You can pet him, you can hold him, even though he doesn't necessarily love being held. But he loves being petted, loves attention. and he's just a great all-around animal. Super cool. Northern blue tongue. He is a T-positive caramel albino. You can see how light he is and see the dark eyes. That's how you can tell he's T-positive from the dark eyes. He's awesome. And let's say hi to this guy too while we're over here. This is the Burmese brown mountain tortoise. He's a baby. And these guys are a little secretive when they're babies. Oh, there he is. So he's chilling over there right now. There he is right there. Chilling over toward the hot end of the enclosure. He's pretty cool, man. He's a climber. Like, he'll actually climb up on that big log. I've seen him climb that. I've seen him in the water bowl quite a bit. He's pretty cool. I mean, he's not super exciting and active at this point. But as they get older, they're supposed to get more and more bold, less shy. But there he is. He's got a gnat in there with him. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and please like and subscribe. And also, maybe suggest a name for him. I'm thinking like Baby Yoda, maybe. Merry Christmas.